I can't do that, Liz.
Well, I'll have to go get the bed.
Can you do that, Bianca? The only thing is further they go.
I only know I never felt this way.
Ever wondered about the real-life drama behind your favorite tunes? Well, get ready to dive into the juiciest gossip and heart-wrenching tales as we count down the top 20 broke marriages in all of music history. Strap in, because this ride is about to get wild. 20. Tammy Wynette and George Jones. Alright friends, let's dive into number 20 on our list. The iconic country music duo, Tammy Wynette and George Jones. These two legends first crossed paths while touring together in the late 1960s. Now, Wynette wasn't a stranger to the world of marriage. She had already been through two, but it was her tumultuous relationship with her second husband, Don Chappelle, that would ultimately lead her into the arms of George Jones. Their marital struggles reached a boiling point when Wynette and Jones found themselves confessing their feelings for each other during a heated argument with Chappelle. Talk about a soap opera. The duo wasted no time and swiftly flew to Mexico to secure Wynette a divorce. But hey, turns out the marriage was annulled due to some speedy decisions on Wynette's part. Now let's talk about the elephant in the room, Jones' heavy drinking. Unfortunately, it became the primary catalyst for their eventual split in 1975. Wynette didn't hold back when she told E! News, "George is one of those people who can't tolerate happiness. If everything is right, there's something in him that makes him want to destroy it." Ouch, that's gotta hurt. 19. Anni Frid Lyngstad and Benny Andersson. Now, we're delving into the heartbreak behind the breakup of one of the most iconic pop groups of all time, Abba. And at number 19 on our list, we have the dissolution of the marriage between Anni Frid Lyngstad and Benny Andersson. Their love story began in 1969 when they crossed paths while competing in Melodifestivalen, Sweden's music competition. Fast forward to 1971, and they were not only making sweet music together, but also moving in as a couple. That same year, Abba was born, with Bjorn Ulvaeus and Agneta Fältskog completing the lineup. Now, let's talk about the elephant in the room, Abba's skyrocketing success. With fame came its fair share of challenges, and unfortunately, it took a toll on both couples within the group. As the spotlight shone brighter, their relationships began to unravel. In 1978, at the peak of Abba's fame, Anni Frid and Benny tied the knot. But alas, even the magic of their music couldn't save their marriage. The cracks began to show, and soon, Benny found himself drawn to someone else, TV producer Mona Norklit. Their divorce came swiftly, and in Benny's own words, "We simply grew out of each other." It was a heartbreaking decision, but they chose honesty and parted ways. Yet despite the end of the romantic relationship, their bond remained strong. As Frida expressed, "Now that Benny and I have broken up, we are able to work much better together." And work together they did, because even though their marriages ended, their passion for music endured. Abba officially disbanded in 1982, but their legacy lived on. Fast forward to 2021, and they made a triumphant comeback with their biggest selling album, Voyage, reminding us all that true talent withstands the test of time. So, while their love story may have had a bittersweet ending, the music of Abba continues to captivate audiences around the world. Stay tuned, because we've got plenty more heartbreak and musical tales coming your way in this countdown. 18. John and Michelle Phillips. It's the swinging 60s, and alongside Cass Elliot and Dennis Doherty, John and Michelle are making waves with their counterculture folk group. With John's knack for arranging vocals, they skyrocketed to fame, selling a whopping 40 million records worldwide. But behind the scenes, trouble was brewing. Michelle's extramarital affairs with both Dennis and Gene Clark of the Byrds rocked the band's harmony. In a dramatic turn of events, John decided to part ways with his wife professionally, booting her from the group in 1966. Talk about a band breakup. Yet, like a phoenix rising from the ashes, Michelle's stint away from the limelight was short-lived. She was soon back in the fold, rejoining the Mamas and the Papas in August of the same year. But the damage was done, and despite attempts to patch things up, the group's internal turmoil eventually led to their demise in 1969. With the band's breakup came the end of John and Michelle's marriage. In May of that year, they officially called it quits. But the story doesn't end there. After the dust settled, each member went their separate ways. Cass, Dennis, and John pursued solo careers, while Michelle took a different path, stepping into the world of acting. You might have spotted her on iconic shows like Star Trek: The Next Generation and Knots Landing, proving that even after the music stops, there's always another stage to conquer. 17. Meg and Jack White. We're now uncovering the enigmatic story of Meg and Jack White, the dynamic duo behind the iconic rock band The White Stripes. Picture this. It's the late 90s and love is in the air as Jack and Meg tie the knot in Detroit. But here's the twist. They decide to take Meg's surname, becoming Jack and Meg White. Talk about breaking tradition right from the start. With their newly minted union, the couple wastes no time diving headfirst into their musical journey, forming the electrifying rock act, The White Stripes. But here's where things get interesting. Instead of flaunting their marital status, they present themselves as siblings, adding an air of mystery to their already captivating persona. But behind the scenes, cracks begin to show. Just 2 years after saying "I do," Jack and Meg call it quits. Yep, you heard that right. Divorced, but still making music together. Talk about a complicated relationship. Despite their personal turmoil, the White Stripes continue to churn out hit after hit, releasing 6 albums that solidify their status as rock legends. But all good things must come to an end, and in 2011, the duo officially called it quits. Since then, Jack has been busy carving out a solo career and collaborating with various artists, while Meg has taken a step back from the spotlight, seemingly disappearing from the music scene altogether. But here's the kicker. Despite their breakup, when Meg's drumming skills came under fire, both Jack and his ex-wife Karen Elson rushed to her defense. Talk about maintaining solidarity even after parting ways. 16. Kim Gordon and Thurston Moore. Here's the fascinating story of Kim Gordon and Thurston Moore, the power couple behind the groundbreaking band Sonic Youth. Imagine this. It's the vibrant streets of New York City in 1980, and amidst the bustling underground music scene, singer Kim Gordon crosses paths with guitarist Thurston Moore. They team up, experimenting with different band names until they strike gold with Sonic Youth, a name that would soon become synonymous with innovation and boundary-pushing music. As they navigated the gritty streets of New York City, Sonic Youth's unique sound caught the attention of music lovers everywhere. With their 6th studio album, Goo, they catapulted to mainstream success, solidifying their status as pioneers of noise rock. Together, Kim and Thurston embarked on a musical journey that spanned 3 decades, releasing a staggering 15 studio albums and 7 extended plays. But behind the scenes, their personal relationship was facing its own set of challenges. In 2011, after nearly 30 years together, Kim and Thurston dropped a bombshell. They were calling it quits both romantically and musically. The news sent shockwaves through the music world, leaving fans wondering what would become of Sonic Youth. While Kim expressed her belief that Sonic Youth had reached its end in her 2015 autobiography, Thurston remains optimistic about the possibility of a reunion. Could we see Sonic Youth rise from the ashes once again? Only time will tell. 15. Ike and Tina Turner. It all began in 1956 when Ike Turner crossed paths with Anna Mae Bullock, who would later become the iconic Tina Turner, at a nightclub in East St. Louis, Illinois. Their connection sparked, but it wasn't until 1960 that their relationship took a romantic turn, following Tina's brief dalliance with Raymond Hill, the saxophonist in Ike's band. Despite the complications of Ike still being legally married to his ex-wife, Alice Bell, the pair tied the knot in Tijuana in 1962. From the outside, they seemed like the perfect musical duo, but behind closed doors, their relationship was fraught with turmoil. Ike and Tina's union quickly spiraled into a toxic mix of drug abuse, infidelity, and domestic violence. Despite Tina's incredible talent, she endured years of physical and emotional abuse at the hands of Ike. It wasn't until 1976, after a particularly brutal beating, that Tina found the strength to leave. Filing for divorce and relinquishing most of her assets to Ike, Tina faced a daunting uphill battle. Despite the financial hardships and the weight of her debts, Tina embarked on a remarkable journey of resilience and reinvention. Rising from the ashes, she carved out a legendary solo career, captivating audiences worldwide with her electrifying performances. Meanwhile, Ike's life took a tragic turn, marked by multiple failed marriages and struggles with substance abuse. His life came to a tragic end in 2007 due to a cocaine overdose, leaving behind a complex legacy tarnished by his abusive behavior. In contrast, Tina found love and stability in her later years, entering into a fulfilling relationship with German music executive Erwin Bach. Their enduring bond culminated in a beautiful marriage in 2013, providing Tina with the love and support she deserved until her passing in 2023. 14. Debbie Reynolds and Eddie Fisher. It's the whirlwind romance and subsequent heartbreak of Debbie Reynolds and Eddie Fisher, a tale that's straight out of a Hollywood script. It all began in 1955 when Hollywood sweetheart Debbie Reynolds crossed paths with crooner Eddie Fisher. Their love story unfolded against the backdrop of the Korean War, where they both performed for American troops overseas. The chemistry between them was undeniable, leading to a fairy tale wedding and the arrival of two beautiful children, Carrie and Todd Fisher. But alas, their marital bliss was short-lived. In 1959, scandal rocked Tinseltown when it was revealed that Fisher had been carrying on a secret affair with none other than Reynolds' close friend, the legendary Elizabeth Taylor. The news sent shockwaves through Hollywood, tarnishing the image of America's sweetheart and leading to the dissolution of Reynolds and Fisher's marriage. As if that weren't enough drama for one lifetime, Taylor's own tumultuous love life added another layer of complexity to the situation. Following her affair with Fisher, Taylor went on to marry Richard Burton, only to divorce him after just 2 years. Through it all, Reynolds and Taylor managed to mend their friendship, even teaming up for a playful jab at their shared ex-husband in the made-for-TV movie, These Old Broads. 13. Sonny and Cher. An insider's look at the roller coaster romance of the iconic duo Sonny and Cher. Buckle up, because this one's a wild ride. It all began on a seemingly ordinary day in autumn 1962 when Sonny Bono and Cher crossed paths in a quaint Los Angeles coffee shop. Despite their initial lack of romantic sparks, fate had other plans for them. Their relationship blossomed over time, culminating in an unofficial union in 1964. But it wasn't until the arrival of their only child, Chaz Bono, that they made it official in the eyes of the law. As their musical careers soared to new heights with hits like I Got You Babe, Sonny and Cher became the epitome of hashtag relationship goals in the eyes of the public. However, behind the scenes, cracks were beginning to form in their seemingly perfect facade. The trappings of fame proved to be a double-edged sword, with Sonny's newfound stardom fueling his wandering eye. Cher later revealed, "Stardom made Sonny a huge womanizer. I asked him, how did you manage the logistics? I was trusting and faithful with him." Despite their personal struggles, Sonny and Cher's professional success remained intertwined with their marriage. Their iconic Sonny and Cher comedy hour showcased their undeniable chemistry and catapulted them to even greater fame. But as the saying goes, all good things must come to an end. By 1974, the cracks in their relationship had widened into irreparable chasms. Cher filed for divorce, only to discover that she had little ownership of their shared assets, leading to a bitter legal battle. Cher famously referred to her marriage to Sonny as involuntary servitude, highlighting the power dynamics at play. Despite the acrimony surrounding their divorce, Sonny and Cher managed to reconcile as friends in the years that followed. Their enduring bond stood the test of time, even through Sonny's untimely passing in 1998. So, what lessons can we learn from the tumultuous love story of Sonny and Cher? Well, for one, fame and fortune don't guarantee happiness. And sometimes, even the most glamorous relationships have their fair share of struggles. 12. John Lennon and Cynthia Powell. It all began in the halls of college, where Cynthia first crossed paths with the enigmatic John Lennon. Their romance blossomed over the years, leading to a marriage in 1962 after Cynthia discovered she was pregnant. Little did they know their union would be tested by the whirlwind of Beatlemania that was about to engulf the world. As John's star rose to stratospheric heights with the Beatles, Cynthia found herself increasingly relegated to the background of his rock god persona. Behind the scenes, Lennon's escalating drug use took its toll on their relationship, causing it to crumble under the weight of fame and addiction. The couple's journey took a dramatic turn when they joined the rest of the Beatles on a spiritual journey to India. It was there that Cynthia discovered the extent of John's infidelities, culminating in a heart-wrenching confrontation with Yoko Ono, who would later become John's infamous muse and partner. In a move that shocked the world, Lennon filed for divorce first, attempting to spin the narrative in his favor by painting Cynthia as the unfaithful one. Throughout the divorce proceedings, Lennon's callousness towards Cynthia was palpable, with him even suggesting that she should be grateful for the financial settlement he offered. Despite the bitterness of their split, Cynthia and John eventually reached a settlement, with Cynthia receiving a lump sum of £100,000, equivalent to about $2.4 million today, an annual £2,400 payment, and custody of their son, Julian. 11. Chris Frantz and Tina Weymouth. The duo behind the rhythm section of one of the most influential bands of all time, Talking Heads. Strap in for a journey through the intertwining lives of bassist Tina Weymouth and drummer Chris Frantz. Picture this. It's the groovy 70s, and Frantz and Weymouth are already college sweethearts, studying at the Rhode Island School of Design. Little did they know, their love story would soon intertwine with the birth of a musical revolution. When the opportunity arose to join forces with David Byrne and Jerry Harrison to form Talking Heads, they leaped at the chance, with Weymouth picking up the bass to fill a crucial spot in the lineup. As Talking Heads burst onto the scene with their debut album, Talking Heads 77, Frantz and Weymouth found themselves not only making groundbreaking music, but also exchanging vows in marriage. The chemistry between them was electric, driving the band's innovative sound forward with each beat and bass line. But wait, there's more! While still riding the wave of Talking Heads' success, Frantz and Weymouth embarked on their own musical adventure with the creation of the Tom Tom Club. With infectious tracks like Wordy Rapping Hood and Genius of Love, they dominated the charts and became the pioneers of hip-hop-infused grooves, inspiring generations of artists to come. From post-punk to funk to Afrobeat, Frantz and Weymouth proved to be the ultimate power couple, seamlessly blending genres and pushing musical boundaries. Their influence can still be felt today, with their iconic beats and bass lines sampled in countless songs across various genres. So here's to Chris Frantz and Tina Weymouth, the heartbeat of Talking Heads and the driving force behind the Tom Tom Club. 10. Wendy Melvoin and Lisa Coleman. Imagine stepping into Prince's universe, where every note is infused with intrigue and every lyric holds a hidden message. Wendy and Lisa were not just bandmates, they were partners in both music and life, sharing a bond that transcended the stage. While their romance remained veiled in secrecy during their time with Prince's band The Revolution, subtle hints and cryptic messages left fans speculating about the true nature of their relationship. From the haunting whispers in Computer Blue to the electric chemistry on stage, Wendy and Lisa's love story added another layer of complexity to Prince's enigmatic persona. As Brenda Bennett, a fellow musician, aptly put it, their union represented Prince's commitment to diversity in all its forms, be it race, gender, or sexuality. Despite the silence surrounding their personal lives, Wendy and Lisa's musical prowess spoke volumes. They played an integral role in creating some of Prince's most iconic songs of the 80s, leaving an indelible mark on the music industry. But their journey didn't end there. After parting ways with Prince, they embarked on a successful career as a duo, crafting chart-topping hits and composing award-winning soundtracks for film and television. In 2014, long after their romantic relationship had ended, Wendy and Lisa finally opened up about their 20-year journey together, offering fans a glimpse into their remarkable bond both on and off the stage. 9. Siouxsie, Sue, and Budgie.
Certainly not where we were hidden away in France.
So this was like summer '95, I think it was, and.
It's the late 1970s, and punk rock is exploding onto the British music scene. Enter Siouxsie Sue, the fierce and fearless frontwoman of Siouxsie and the Banshees, whose electrifying presence helped define the essence of punk. From iconic appearances with the Sex Pistols to setting fashion trends with her signature backcombed hair, Siouxsie blazed the trail for the nascent goth rock movement. Joined by drummer Budgie, Siouxsie and the Banshees pushed the boundaries of post-punk music with groundbreaking albums like The Scream and Join Hands. But their musical journey didn't end there. With the addition of guitarist John McGeoch, the band ventured into neo-psychedelic art rock territory, captivating audiences with their innovative sound. Amidst their musical endeavors, Siouxsie and Budgie found love and companionship, eventually tying the knot in 1991. Together, they navigated the ever-evolving music scene, balancing their roles in the Banshees with their side project, The Creatures. Their partnership was not only a creative force, but also a testament to the power of love and collaboration in music. However, like many great love stories, theirs took an unexpected turn. 16 years after their marriage, Siouxsie revealed that she and Budgie had parted ways. Despite the end of their romantic relationship, both continued to make waves in the music industry. Budgie delved into post-punk's musical history with the Curious Creatures podcast, while Siouxsie remained an icon for women in rock music, inspiring generations of artists with her fearless attitude and groundbreaking sound. From New Order's Gillian Gilbert to Charlie XCX and Paramore's Hayley Williams, Siouxsie Sue's influence reverberates through the halls of rock history. 8. Sting and Francis Tomelty. Back in the 80s and 90s, Sting was undeniably a rock icon, stealing hearts and headlines as the lead singer of the British rock band The Police. But behind the scenes, his love life was far from straightforward. You see, before Trudy Styler came into the picture, there was Francis Tomelty. Sting and Francis tied the knot in 1976, the same year The Police burst onto the music scene with their electrifying sound. Together, they welcomed 2 children into the world, Joe and Fuchsia, as they navigated the highs and lows of marriage in the spotlight. But here's where things get interesting. Enter Trudy Styler, Francis's best friend and the couple's neighbor. Sparks flew between Sting and Trudy, igniting a fiery affair that sent shockwaves through their social circle. By 1983, Trudy was carrying Sting's child, a development that added fuel to the already blazing controversy. As Sting and Trudy's relationship blossomed, Francis found herself on the sidelines, grappling with the heartache of betrayal. The situation reached a breaking point in 1984 when Sting made the difficult decision to end his marriage to Francis, paving the way for a new chapter with Trudy. Reflecting on their unconventional journey, Trudy later confessed, "Neither of us are proud of a situation that happened. It just happened. We loved each other and we lived together. And then we got married and we had more kids. and that's our life story. In 1994, Sting and Trudy exchanged vows, marking the beginning of a new era in their love story. 7. Travis Barker and Shanna Moakler. Now we're diving into the roller coaster romance of Blink-182 drummer Travis Barker and former Miss USA Shanna Moakler. Strap in as we take a wild ride through their whirlwind love story. Back in 2004, Travis Barker and Shanna Moakler tied the knot in a glamorous ceremony fit for the stars. With Barker's rock star status and Moakler's pageant queen charm, they seemed like the perfect match. The couple even gave fans a glimpse into their world with their own MTV reality show, Meet the Barkers, showcasing their family life and adventures. But behind the glitz and glamour, trouble was brewing. Just 2 years into their marriage, cracks began to surface, and accusations of infidelity flew from both sides. Despite their best efforts to patch things up, the couple filed for divorce in 2006, sending shockwaves through Hollywood. Their relationship became a tabloid sensation, with their on-again, off-again status making headlines and keeping gossip columnists busy. Even after their divorce was finalized in 2008, the drama didn't end there. Reports of fighting and failed reconciliations continued to make waves, much to the public's fascination. Fast forward to 2014, and things took a turn for the ugly. In a heated custody battle, text messages exchanged between Barker and Moakler were brought to light, revealing the bitter animosity between the former couple. Moakler's accusations about Barker's choice of company sparked outrage, with Barker firing back with harsh words of his own. Text messages shared in court revealed Moakler told Barker to keep his drug addict girlfriends away from my kids. In response, Barker called his ex-wife a fucking call girl. Barker testified in court, highlighting his commitment to his children's well-being. I am a very involved parent. Not only do I regularly take our children to and from school, tutoring, doctor's appointments, and extracurricular events, but I also see that they do their homework, cook them meals, play with them, plan all of their birthday parties, and select all of their activities, Barker noted to the court. I have concerns about our children's safety and well-being when in Shanna's home. 6. Bruce Springsteen and Julianne Phillips.
I knew that I wanted to work with him again. He was just wonderful. And it was a very short scene. I didn't work long, you know.
In 1985, Springsteen tied the knot with Julianne Phillips, a stunning actress who captured his heart. Despite their apparent happiness, Springsteen couldn't shake the feeling of disconnect that lingered between them. As he revealed in his candid memoir, Born to Run, doubts began to creep into his mind, fueled by their glaring age difference and divergent paths in life. One evening, while I sat across from my beautiful wife in an upscale Los Angeles eatery, a conversation formed silently inside my head, Springsteen confessed. The inner turmoil gnawed at him, leading him to question the authenticity of their relationship. Yet he grappled with the notion that perhaps Phillips was simply using him for her own gain, a notion he later realized couldn't have been further from the truth. Amidst this emotional turbulence, Springsteen found solace and understanding in the company of his bandmate, Patti Scialfa. Their connection was undeniable, fueled by shared experiences on the road and a deep mutual understanding. I never felt the need to pretend around her, Springsteen reflected, highlighting the authenticity of their bond. Ultimately, Springsteen's marriage to Phillips crumbled under the weight of their differences, leading to a divorce in 1989. 2 years later, he took a leap of faith and married Scialfa, solidifying their enduring partnership both on and off the stage. Meanwhile, Phillips walked away from the marriage with a hefty settlement, reportedly amounting to $20 million, a testament to the high stakes involved in their dissolution. 5. Phil Collins and Orion Cevey. It all began in 1994 when Collins, then 44, crossed paths with Cevey, a 22-year-old Swiss beauty. Sparks flew, and despite Collins still being married to his second wife, Jill Tavelman, they embarked on a clandestine romance away from the prying eyes of the public. However, the secrecy couldn't last forever, and Collins eventually parted ways with Tavelman later that same year. In 1999, Collins and Cevey took the plunge and exchanged vows, but their marital bliss was short-lived. Just 7 years later, they filed for divorce, marking the beginning of a messy legal battle that would make headlines around the world. To settle the tumultuous split, Collins reportedly paid Cevey a staggering sum of over $46 million, an eye-watering figure by any standard. But hold on to your hats, folks, because the drama was far from over. After going their separate ways and exploring other relationships, Collins and Cevey shocked everyone by reuniting in 2016 and even cohabitating in Collins' luxurious Miami mansion. However, their reunion took a shocking turn in 2020 when Collins discovered that Cevey had secretly tied the knot with a male escort with whom she was having an affair. Talk about a plot twist! In a move that rocked the music world, Collins promptly evicted Cevey from his mansion, signaling the definitive end of their tumultuous relationship. But the drama didn't stop there. In 2021, Collins sold the Miami mansion for a whopping $39 million, sparking a legal battle as Cevey claimed she was entitled to half of the sale price. However, her lawsuit was ultimately dismissed, bringing an end to this sensational chapter in their tumultuous love story. 4. Bob Dylan and Sarah Lowndes. Bob Dylan and Sarah Lowndes tied the knot in 1965, embarking on a journey that would see them become the epitome of a power couple in the music industry. With 4 children together, they seemed to have it all: a strong bond, a growing family, and Dylan's meteoric rise to fame as the voice of a generation. However, as the mid-1970s approached, cracks began to appear in their seemingly unshakable foundation. Despite Lowndes' unwavering support and influence on Dylan's music, their relationship started to unravel, with rumors swirling that the turmoil inspired Dylan's iconic 1975 album, Blood on the Tracks. Released in 1975, Blood on the Tracks is often regarded as one of the most emotionally raw albums ever recorded, with many speculating that its deeply personal lyrics reflect Dylan's own experiences with love and loss, particularly in his relationship with Lowndes. Even Dylan's son Jacob acknowledged the album's intimate connection to his parents' tumultuous marriage. Following their divorce, Lowndes received a substantial settlement, including assets valued at approximately $36 million and half the royalties from songs penned during their time together. Reflecting on the failure of their marriage, Dylan candidly admitted, "Marriage was a failure. Husband and wife were failures, but father and mother weren't failures." In hindsight, Dylan acknowledged his shortcomings as a husband, acknowledging that while he may not have been perfect, he was devoted to his role as a father. "I wasn't a very good husband," he confessed. "I don't know what a good husband is. I was good in some ways, and not so good in other ways." 3. Mick Jagger and Bianca Macias.
I can't do that, dude. Can you do that, Bianca? The only thing is fair that they go.
Their story begins in 1970 after a Rolling Stones concert where Mick Jagger and Bianca Perez Mora Macias crossed paths and sparks flew. Less than a year later, they were exchanging vows, plunging headfirst into the world of celebrity matrimony. But behind the glitz and glamour, warning signs lurked beneath the surface. Macias made headlines when she refused to sign a daunting 28-page prenuptial agreement, a decision that would later have significant implications. As Jagger reveled with their illustrious guests until the early hours, Macias found herself alone in their honeymoon suite, a telling sign of the challenges to come. Despite their status as a power couple throughout much of the 70s, Jagger's penchant for partying and his wandering eyes strained their marriage. Rumors swirled about Jagger's infidelities, but it was his affair with Jerry Hall that dealt the final blow. In May 1978, Macias filed for divorce, citing adultery as the grounds for dissolution. In the aftermath of their split, Macias received a settlement of approximately £1 million, a fraction of Jagger's fortune, but a notable sum nonetheless. Reflecting on her tumultuous marriage, Macias candidly remarked that a rock star is the worst husband a woman could have, highlighting the challenges of navigating the male-dominated world of rock and roll. As Jagger moved on to other high-profile romances, Macias remained a significant figure in his life, the only woman he ever officially married, despite subsequent relationships and even an annulment. 2. Neil Schon and Ava Fabian. Neil Schon, the guitar virtuoso behind Journey's iconic sound, has seen his fair share of marital ups and downs. His journey down the aisle began in 1976 when he married Tenna Austin, a union that lasted 9 years before ending in divorce in 1986. But that was just the beginning of Schon's matrimonial saga. In 1987, Schon exchanged vows with Beth Buckley, and the couple welcomed 2 children during their 5-year marriage. However, their relationship reached its end in 1992, marking Schon's second divorce. Undeterred, Schon walked down the aisle once again, this time with Dina Gioli in 1993. But alas, their marriage dissolved in 1999, adding another chapter to Schon's marital history. In 2001, Schon embarked on his 4th marriage, tying the knot with Amber Kozin. Together, they navigated the highs and lows of married life, welcoming 2 children before ultimately parting ways in 2008. But it was Schon's 5th marriage that garnered the most attention, and for all the wrong reasons. In a whirlwind romance, Schon wed Ava Fabian in a lavish ceremony in Paris. However, their marital bliss was short-lived when Schon embarked on an affair with Real Housewives of DC star Michaela Salahi, someone with whom he had a romantic history. The messy saga took a legal turn when Schon's lawyers argued that his marriage to Fabian was invalid under French law, citing residency requirements. After just 2 months of marriage, Schon and Fabian found themselves embroiled in a legal battle that was eventually settled out of court. But Schon's romantic escapades didn't end there. In 2013, he exchanged vows with Michaela Salahi, marking the latest chapter in his tumultuous love life. 1. Paul McCartney and Heather Mills.
This one, I don't know what to expect. People say it's a great party, and I hope it is. And we're just going to go in.
After nearly 3 decades of marriage to his beloved Linda, Paul McCartney found himself navigating the tricky waters of love once again following her tragic passing in 1998. Enter Heather Mills, a woman who would soon become the center of McCartney's world, or so he thought. McCartney and Mills embarked on a whirlwind romance, but cracks began to appear in the relationship early on. One glaring issue? Mills' strained relationship with McCartney's daughter, Stella, which cast a shadow over their budding love. Despite the challenges, McCartney and Mills exchanged vows in 2002, welcoming daughter Beatrice into the world shortly after. However, their marital bliss was short-lived as their relationship quickly began to unravel. Just 4 years into their marriage, McCartney and Mills called it quits, citing media intrusion as a major factor in their marital discord. But that was just the beginning of their troubles. What followed was a bitter and protracted divorce battle, with both parties airing their grievances in the public eye. A judge ultimately ruled in McCartney's favor, highlighting his consistency and honesty while questioning Mills' credibility. Despite the relatively brief duration of their marriage, McCartney found himself on the hook for a hefty sum, ordered to pay Mills a staggering $48.7 million in the divorce settlement, along with $70,000 annually in child support. Well guys, there you have it. Our journey through the highs and lows of music's most broken marriages. But hey, before you go, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to our channel for more intriguing content, and share your thoughts in the comments below. Until next time, Stay tuned.